Hey folks, Rory here. Today I want to talk a little bit about exactly how real estate agents get paid. Yes, everybody's pretty much aware of the fact that real estate salespeople work on commission. The amount or percentage can vary and does vary from agent to agent and may vary again depending on where your property is physically located. But today, it's not about how much a salesperson might make, but rather it's about how they get paid. You see, for the most part, salespeople in Ontario are independent contractors working under the license of a registered real estate broker. For example, I'm a salesperson, but I cannot trade in real estate without being registered with a real estate broker. And in my case, it just happens to be Century 21 Heritage Group. There's likely still some cases of people out there operating as employees, and possibly even some cases where those employees receive a salary. But personally, I'm not aware of any of these cases, and if they do exist, they're by far the exception, not the rule. You see, in Ontario, it's illegal for a salesperson to receive funds directly from the consumer. All monies being paid are paid as the result of a real estate transaction, and they must be paid directly to the real estate broker and subsequently through the broker to the sales rep. Most of us understand what happens when a real estate salesperson enters into a contract with a seller. The seller agrees to a percentage, and upon successful completion of a sale, the salesperson will ultimately be paid the agreed upon commission, minus, of course, his or her related brokerage and franchise fees, and it's from the remaining total that they'll pay their expenses and, of course, Revenue Canada. Let us not forget the big guy. Now, here's where things get misunderstood a little bit. How does the salesperson representing the buyer get paid? Well, without getting into all of the possibilities, the simplest explanation would be to say that through the multiple listing service, there exists a commission agreement between brokers. In the event a salesperson representing a buyer from, let's call it brokerage A, brings an acceptable offer to the seller through brokerage B, the listing brokerage, which would be brokerage B, would pay generally 50%, but it doesn't have to be half of what the total amount is, but it must, whatever the amount is, it must be disclosed on the MLS listing so that the salesperson representing the buyer knows exactly how much commission is being offered. Once the deal's completed, the salespeople on both sides of the transaction will complete what we call a trade record. They sign it and process the deal with their brokerage. The buyer's broker will then, on behalf of the salesperson, will invoice the listing broker, and this amount will be paid directly to the buyer brokerage, generally within a week to 10 days roughly after the deal has closed. And ultimately, the salesperson will then receive the agreed upon commission, once again, minus his or her related brokerage fees and franchise fees, then paying their expenses, and of course, Revenue Canada. All this before any of this money can be considered income for personal use. My name's Rory Campbell, and I'm a sales rep here with Century 21 in Newmarket, Ontario. Thank you very much for listening, and have yourself a great day.